There's more bad news for President Biden, who is getting low ratings on pretty much every key issue ahead of 2024. A new AP poll reveals that 66% of Americans disapprove of the president's handling of the economy, 67% disapprove of his performance on gun policy, and the same percentage disapprove of his handling of immigration. Meanwhile, Biden continues to face questions about his age and fitness to serve, even from those within his own party. Hillary Clinton now among them.
Now, there was that heart-stopping moment where he almost fell over coming down the stairs a day or two ago. Is that a concern?
Well, I mean, it's a concern for anyone. And we've had presidents who've fallen before who were a lot younger, and people didn't go into, heart palpitations. But his age is an issue, and people have every right to consider it.
That set's from the 60s. So Congresswoman, she's right. And that was a neutrally objective statement, frankly, that absolutely all Americans should consider it. They should consider everything when weighing in on a presidential campaign. Perhaps this issue, however, will be more heavy than most.
I think it certainly is top of mind, given there's constant reminders of what a concern it is. But when you look at all of these different issues, Democrats are not happy with the work that President Biden is doing. So it should be a red flag to everyone watching to see how hard the DNC is trying to make sure that he is not held to account for his record. Simone Sanders was on Morning Joe the other day saying there will be no primary debate. There will be no stage for Bobby Kennedy or anyone else because the DNC will not allow it. It is all about Joe Biden. And I think it just reveals their hand. They are deathly afraid of Bobby Kennedy. They will do all that they can to pretend like he doesn't exist. And if he continues to build momentum, they're going to do everything they can to try to destroy his candidacy because they don't want voters to have an actual choice. They don't want to have a conversation where our president, his record will be examined and criticized. Do you think that strategy would work?
I don't know if it'll work, but I'll tell you, he's incredibly vulnerable. I mean, we just reached day 853 of the Biden presidency. According to the 538 average at this point in the presidency, he is the least popular president in the history of polling, with the exception of Jimmy Carter, which is kind of appropriate because he's the worst president since Jimmy Carter. He's 80 years old. He would be 86 if he won a second term. According to the Social Security Administration, and women live longer, but an average American man has a 60% chance of reaching the age of 85. So that means about a 40% chance that Kamala Harris would be president in some point in a second Biden term. So she's on the ballot, and she's even less
that's
popular
absolutely
than he is.
And when you bring up popularity, Kaylee, these polls reflect an absolutely dismal point of view of not only the president's fitness to serve, but also how he has performed or underperformed during his tenure.
They do. But, you know, I have a little bit of deja vu because I'm sitting here listening to this and I'm thinking we could have had this same conversation November of last year before the midterms.
Yeah.
And look at what happened. The bad poll numbers for Biden didn't equal success for the GOP. So between now and next November, I am going to be a siren for the GOP having discipline here, because even when you dig into this poll, you see the 30% approval on the economy, on immigration, gun policy even. So it's a dire assessment. However, when you dig down into this poll, there was this one aspect that caught my eye, and it was on the debt ceiling. And it showed 79% of Americans say we shouldn't raise the debt ceiling, or if we do, we need to have deficit cuts. So I'm like, okay, Kevin McCarthy's winning on this. 79% of Americans agree. But when you look at who they're blaming for this, they're blaming Kevin McCarthy, Republicans, Democrats, and Joe Biden, meaning the GOP messaging is not breaking through. We have to be disciplined. We have to be smart. We have to be almost perfect, because you're up against a liberal media. You're up against social media. So it's incumbent upon the GOP, be disciplined. And get rid of the noise.
You know, you made me think of something, Tulsi. And when you're talking about how the left doesn't want Biden to take accountability or responsibility for everything that has failed on his watch, maybe that's where some of the ageism speak is coming from. I mean, I remember when Hillary Clinton was running, and Obama, for that matter, with the Reverend Wright tapes. And it was always a little strange that late in that primary year between Obama and Hillary Clinton, how those tapes suddenly appeared. And I thought, well, the left would probably have more access to this stuff than a Republican sitting in the pews of Reverend Wright's church. And I just look at this. Who politically actually benefits if Joe Biden is suddenly silenced by, I don't want to take an acuity test? And you've seen all of those, not just Robert F. Kennedy Jr., but others coming out of the woodworks now. Maybe Manchin would take a peek. Now, Manchin's only a couple of years younger than Biden, so it may be suggested that he would need the test too. But you were saying something during the commercial that really jogged my brain. Age is a problem in general in our leadership.
Yeah.
Exactly. When you look at the focus on a lot of the issues, or the lack of focus actually on real issues that are affecting families and working people all across this country, you've got a lot of folks who are in office who are and have been way out of touch with that reality themselves for a very long time. Worse yet, and taking age out of it, because, you know, I'm not saying that our government has to be made up of only young people and young families and parents and working people.
Right.
It's just about caring. It's about saying, hey, I may not know what you're going through. So, you know, I'm going to come and visit your community. I'm going to listen, and I'm going to better understand how we
We had a phenomenal day today. League Museum and Arthur Bryant's Barbecue.
This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. This is the merch. Get the link in the description section. Also, I got a bunch of dad Father's Day shirts that we've just launched. All you have to do is put in Dad Up, and during pre-order, you get 30% off.
Phenomenal day today. League Museum and Arthur Bryant's.
At all from accidentally saying the N-word, which it was a confusing word, Negro, and then the R.
Roll the clip. We had a phenomenal day today. League Museum and Arthur Bryant's Barbecue.
Kauffman, welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. I just wanted to, a little bit earlier in the show, I said something didn't come out quite the way I wanted it to. And I just wanted to apologize if.
I feel bad for him, man. I don't think he really meant to say that. He said interleague. I think he was trying to say Negro League Museum, and he accidentally said the N-word. You know, it's kind of weird, though, because he must say that a lot. Because I look, I grew up saying the N-word, every single word out of my mouth, every rap song, every in this, in that, in that. I remember one time I felt bad about it. I was in college and me and my friends used to say the N-word to each other all the time. And we had a university with nothing but white people. And one time we got real crazy. We were saying in, and the white people were looking at us like, and I felt bad. I said, you know what? We sound real stupid out here saying the N-word. But even as much as I've said it in my entire life, I don't think I would ever slip and say it in meaning Negro and say the N-word. So, Glenn may have been saying the hard R for a long time. Does that make the man racist? I don't think so. It's just a word. It's just a word. And I don't understand why people give that word so much power. It's
Well, the Republican field of presidential contenders is growing, and now Elon Musk is getting involved in the battle over the future of the GOP. Ann Makovic joins us now with those details. Ann.
Yeah, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis planning on making his big announcement tomorrow night with Elon Musk during a live appearance on Twitter. That is what at least 3 close sources tell CBS News. The announcement set for 3 o'clock our time p.m., hosted by David Sachs. He is a technology executive who's been very vocal in San Francisco politics. He helped fund the recall of District Attorney Chesa Boudin and 3 school board members. So DeSantis' announcement is going to be on Twitter Spaces. That is a platform for live audio conversations on Twitter. We don't know yet if DeSantis and
Well, damn. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. That's crazy how so Santos is running. Why they got Santos in Nevada? I wish he was a Senate governor power.
Musk will be together in person for the announcement. The governor is scheduled to be in Miami tomorrow for meetings with some of his top donors. We also don't know if Musk is going to full-on endorse DeSantis tomorrow. A recent CBS News poll shows 22% of likely Republican voters do support DeSantis, compared to 58% for Donald Trump.
22% for Santos, 58% for Trump.
The Florida governor is making waves even before he's expected to jump into the presidential race. DeSantis today signed a bill to defund diversity programs at Florida colleges, a clear response to critical race theory being taught in classrooms. He's also changing Florida law to allow himself to campaign while serving as governor and to reduce transparency over his state spending and travel. DeSantis is also stepping into wars off of his turf, sending migrants who come to Florida to states run by Democrats, and wading into a New York City case praising the Marine veteran now charged in the subway chokehold death. He also barnstormed the trail in Iowa this weekend when the 45th president canceled a rally there over weather concerns. Donald Trump is taking notice and taking aim at DeSantis, and DeSantis is indirectly firing back.
We must reject the culture of losing that has infected our party in recent years. If we focus the election on the past or on other side issues, then I think the Democrats are going to beat us again.
Trump was asked for his response in a new interview and declared, quote, "I'm not at all caught up in the past. And second of all, I'm doing much better against Biden than he is in the polls. And third of all, I did very well in the midterms. Ron's not a winner because Ron, without me, wouldn't have won." Today, DeSantis was asked, "Do you think Trump lost in 2020? This was his answer.
Look at the last however many election cycles. 2018, we lost the House. We lost the Senate. 2020, Biden becomes president. Or no, excuse me, we lost the Senate in 2020. Biden becomes president and has done a huge amount of damage. Very unpopular in 2022. And we were supposed to have this big red wave. And other than like Florida and Iowa, I didn't see a red wave across this country. And so I think the party has developed a culture of losing.
Joining me now is former Trump advisor Steve Cortes. Thank you so much for joining the program, Steve.
Sarah, thank you for having me.
All right. So, Steve, you were a staunch, unwavering supporter of Donald Trump during the presidency and even before he was president. Why are you backing Ron DeSantis now instead of Donald Trump?
Sarah, listen, I was honored to advocate for President Trump and for the America First movement broadly for many years. I now believe that this is the next natural phase of that movement. And by that, I mean that I believe that Governor DeSantis is the most electable, most conservative candidate out there who can both win the general election as well as govern effectively, as actually implement through discipline and focus.
Which is true. Nothing that he has said so far is not false. I believe everything that he said. But that's that B word, y'all. But that man ain't got them skills to go over there and talk to them other countries like Trump. And we gotta get that dollar bill up, bruh. And little stuff like that. Nah, I really think Santos should wait another after Trump or whatever. But both of them running together like this, even competing, will still get the Republicans' numbers up. So it's good for the eye. It's good for the people to see. It's just hopefully Trump don't try to be sneaky and sneak little blows that ain't confidentially true that'll help him lose in the primaries.
Focus the most conservative policy agenda possible. I believe he has proven that by his track record in Florida. And for that reason, I'm taking the personal risk here of advocating for the underdog, for the political renegade, the outsider, who is Ron DeSantis.
Okay, so I have to ask you, Governor DeSantis has not actually announced he's actually running for president. So I guess the question is, do you know something we don't know? I mean, has he told you, yes, I am planning to do this, or giving you any indication that, yeah, he's going to run?
Well, Sarah, it's not my place to talk about private conversations with Governor DeSantis. I will let him make that announcement at the appropriate time. But I think any reasonable observer will conclude that Ron DeSantis is doing everything that a person does to prepare to make this run for office. So I fully expect that is forthcoming in the coming days and weeks. And I'm personally very, very excited about it because, again, I believe that, look, the country's in a very miserable mood right now. And that's not Steve Cortes's opinion. That's what all of the relevant polling shows us. For example, 70% of the American people in a Fox News poll say that the economy is getting worse for their family. So we are in a very depressed state in the country right now. It will not help the country's psyche. It will not help the country from a policy standpoint to have a rematch of the 2020 election that almost no one wants. We've seen
that same rematch is going to be on the Republican side versus Republican. Because we have heard multiple times on multiple shows that the Democrats are not getting into no race. They're not throwing nobody else even into the hat. So it's like, that's going to look bad just a second because it's going to be like 2 against 1. They're like, they look at the Republicans. They need two idiots to go against Sleepy Joe. And that's what people are going to run with. Mark my words, they're going to run with that. Democratic Party is going to sit back and try to run with something like that because it's smart and it's making them look weak. You see how I thought of it, and I'm just watching the show, and it ain't even January next year, or he ain't even announced. But stuff like that is what is going to happen. And like, look, it takes 2 of them to try to knock down Sleepy Joe. Come on, man, let Sleepy Joe do another 4 years, and what? Oil prices be up to $10 and $20 for real.
In this movie before, Biden versus Trump. No one likes it. We know the ending, and polling reflects that. Again, AP polling.
Hold on. The fact that he said we know that, I just want to hear that clearly, a statement.
The election that almost no one wants. We've seen this movie before, Biden versus Trump. No one likes it. We know the ending, and polling reflects that. Again, AP polling, 70% of the American people say they do not want President Trump to run again. Same number, 70% of the people in NBC polling say they do not want Joe Biden to run again. So how do we prevent that rematch? How do we break this political logjam so that we can start to resurrect the American spirit? I believe that the most credible way, the solution, the antidote, is Governor Ron DeSantis, this political rising star, this young man of dynamism who took what was a swing state and turned it into a ruby red Republican state.
You said that you endorsed Donald Trump partly because he was a disruptor and you think DeSantis is the same thing. I'm curious what you meant by that, because Donald Trump certainly was a disruptor, but he did not follow some of the norms of the presidency from historical past. He was a liar. He lied a lot. He was a president who stoked division and anger. And Trump denies this, but there are some people who were convicted of seditious conspiracy who said they blamed Donald Trump for their actions breaking into the Capitol. Would you be okay if DeSantis acted in the same way as former President Trump?
Well, Sarah, you and I are certainly not going to agree. I do not think that Donald Trump is a liar. I think he was exactly the disruptor that we needed.
Well,
back
he
in
has been
2016,
caught
but just
in
because he was
many
the right.
lies. Just to be fair, he
Just-
has been caught lying
Okay,
over
well,
and over and
let's-
over again.
Let's
So
be fair.
let's-
Okay, and
let's
I'm
be fair about that.
I'm here to advocate for Governor DeSantis, but give me a Trump lie then, and let's discuss it.
There are too many of them to even recount.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, to start the first debate on the damn show. When it comes down to they want to talk about lies, the man said, call me out, pull out a receipt. Pull out the receipt. This is a good time on CNN with your rankings low. You know ain't nobody watching CNN because we done heard it. Nobody's watching it until Trump came on. But the American people love hearing the facts. Everybody argues with me to, like a guy argued me, said Trump said racist things about Mexicans in the southern border. I said illegal immigrants that was coming over here that was kidnapping kids and stuffing their bodies with drugs that got caught. Them illegal immigrants that he was talking about? I was like, so yeah. I'm like, that's not racist if the facts is true. He said, but people were hurt. I said, it's only hurt if it's true. Y'all know the saying truth hurts. They don't say the truth is funny. The truth doesn't. Truth hurts. When somebody tell you a fact that factually is true, it hurts. You had a chance to factually say what lies Trump has said since 2000 and blah, blah, blah. And she couldn't answer. It just amazes me.
Literally too many to recount, but I will do this. Let us talk about DeSantis then. The Republican Party, look, has been best known for wanting a smaller government, a party.
And she switched over real quick. Y'all peeped that she switched over quick because she knows if she get into one debate, you're gonna lose. There's nobody out there that can sit up there against somebody that voted for Trump and debate against that person that's a Trump supporter and say, what lies and what conspiracy are you talking about that he did that we're going to rebunk with facts and prove that you're lying, that you're lying about the lies that Trump is a liar. And that's sad that Trump supporter got enough evidence and be calling and Trump supporter be sitting back. I wish you would sit up here and call me out and say anything about that. That's a shame. That's a problem. But yet again, when we do it, you don't hear nothing. And that's what I be wanting to hear.
That wants fiscal responsibility, historically has been pro-business. And I'm curious what you think about something that he has done, which is basically wanting to put a bill in place, wanting to put a law in place that doesn't allow people to look at his past record and some of the way he spent money and some of the state, using some of the state resources like the airplane, doesn't want people to be able to look at that and be transparent about what his history was as the governor of Florida. What do you think about that as a law?
Sure. Well, Sarah, to the first part of your question, regarding his willingness to take on big business, yes, historically, the Republican Party was very much allied with big business, but that is not the new Republican Party. That is not the patriotic populist movement, which is pro-worker, which is pro-small business. And so Ron DeSantis has shown an incredible amount of courage in taking on the oligarchs and their power, particularly Disney, the most powerful company in his state, who tried to insert itself into a cultural, political question about whether or not it's appropriate to teach sexualized content to extremely young children. The people of Florida made their decision that it is not, that is not good education for very young children. And Disney tried to flex its corporate muscle and impose its will on the people of Florida. Ron DeSantis has punched back very hard at Disney and other giant corporations. Now, to the second part of your question regarding his travel, as you know, once somebody becomes a governor,
I just want to jump in about Disney. I guess the question is, since Republicans for such a long time were very much pro-business, wanted businesses to be able to operate the way they saw fit and let the public decide. Do you agree that is a difference in how the Republicans used to think?
I think there is, yes, there is. I will certainly agree that the Republican Party of today is far more populist, far more pro-worker than it was in the past. But here's the reality. Big business in this country in many ways has been fused with government power, particularly if we look at big tech, but there are many other areas as well where big business and big government work in concert with each other. And I believe that's why this country in many ways has really slouched into oligarchy, into the rule of the few. We have a very different vision of diffused power, of the people actually ruling. And part of that means being willing to take on big business. So I guess the term I would use too is we are pro-enterprise. We're not pro-big business. We are pro-free enterprise. And by the way, enterprise has absolutely flourished in the state of Florida because people and businesses are flocking in absolute record numbers to Florida because of what Ron DeSantis has done there, because of what he has built. So corporate media wants to try to pretend that Florida has become some sort of unwelcoming backwater. But the actual reality of domestic migration, of moving trucks and companies pouring into the Sunshine State tells us exactly the opposite.
I like what I heard about Florida. I like the moves that Florida is making. Thought about moving to Florida. Florida got some big ass bugs. Okay?
With some nice beaches.
I don't give a fuck. Everybody want to know, oh, it's a beach, go to the beach. Who cares about some water and some sand? That don't amaze me at all. When you got a hurricane that can knock down the whole damn state. Make that make sense. Everybody, oh, the beaches, the water. So what? Who cares? Make that make sense. So what? Water. Go take a shower if you want to see water. Like that, I never, nobody, and people look at me and then they frown at me. I be like, you just gotta explain it to me. Mm-hmm. You're talking about water. So fucking what? Mm-hmm. Antarctica got ice. So, like, what is so amazing about the beach? And I mean, just what's so amazing about beach and the water? Like, what's amazing?
Nothing. Not really. It's just sand and water.
And people playing. You can play anywhere. You know, you can put mud just like sand and put water and it's still creek. Still playing. Still swimming.
I just think it's the fact of, it's clean-ish water. It's better than what I'm used to in Texas when we went to the Gulf of Mexico.
That's water. It's sand. That goes out into the deep ocean, just like the beach in Florida goes out to a big old ocean. Hold on, wait a minute. There's sharks out there. Oh, wait a minute. They dump trash out there. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. There's pirates out there. So I don't know. I go to the beach.
Who has personal experience with beaches? It would be a better fit than what I have seen out of a beach, because I've only known what I would call crappy beaches with very salty water, very dirty water, very crappy beaches.
So you're willing to go to Florida, which understandable, Florida, but you're willing to go to Florida and deal with them big ass bugs.
Yeah, Texas has bugs too.
They ain't got big ass mosquito bugs, like them different bugs. I think they call parasites, not parasites. Like they have like small pledges where bugs fly so much where they take over the whole sky to where you can't see. Texas got rain that rains different ways, up, sideways, down. Like they got all types of rain, and it takes a whole day to leave up out of Texas. Okay, you got bugs, insects, nigga. Y'all remember? I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying there's just a lot of them motherfuckers. Like, damn, you know that cartoon, The Bug's Life?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Florida. Like, no, I don't want to deal with every species of an insect known to mankind just to go to a beach. Like, okay, they're not at the beach. True indeed, they're not at the beach. But on your way back home, you finna get tagged by everything coming. Mosquito. You gotta smell like off. I haven't smelled like off in 7 years. Yeah, because you got to spray to keep the bugs off of you. You forgot all about it. See, you're thinking about, oh yeah, that's nothing. You're gonna be
bugs aren't nothing. I mean, I've dealt with them like that in Texas because we had really bad chiggers, and they were basically like a different breed of mosquitoes, and beetles, and stink bugs, and all that other crap.
What about hurricanes?
Depending on where you are, you can.
You didn't even get no damn hurricane, get no damn Texas.
But I've lived through like 4 tornadoes.
So I have. Tornadoes ain't shit.
No, they're not.
I know people like, man, he don't know what you're talking about when it comes to tornadoes. Tornadoes ain't shit. If you know how to fucking drive and go in the opposite direction, you can leave a tornado. You can't leave a hurricane unless you leave the country. I mean, the state that it's in, because it's sitting there. A big ass cloud of fucking thunderous rain and wind blowing, and a hurricane can bring a tsunami to the core of Florida. I don't want to. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'll go visit, check you out.
I'll go visit, but I'm like, yeah.
It's too dangerous.
It's just too early. But like, let me.
And then one thing I learned from here, y'all, and I know Sanchez is probably a good governor. Nigga, Florida is 10 times. Okay, statistically, let me break some shit down for y'all. 23 million people come to visit Las Vegas alone by itself. And Las Vegas is drug infested. 60 million people go to see Florida a year. That's double the people that come here. No, like you, this is a tourist area. Florida's a tourist area. 60 million people a year go down there and chill and hang out.
True. There's a lot more to do in Florida than there is.
Hell no, it's more to do here than it is in Florida.
Okay, there's a lot more here for adults.
You're an adult, you're not a child.
I know. Like, I don't understand why people would bring their kids to Vegas.
Because you have no babysitter. These are easy ass questions. Most people bring their kids with them because they have no babysitter.
True.
And yes, there are people and things to do for kids during the daytime, yes.
Besides Circus, and then World and Coca-Cola and Hershey World, that's it.
And all the golf courses around here and all the damn speeding tracks around here.
What kid is going to enjoy golf? Well,
all the golf courses around here, all the racetracks around here, all the paintballs around here, all the RV riding that you can do, the different RVs that's out here, the different tracks. You can go skiing out here in the middle of a damn desert. Yes, you can. In the middle of the winter, you take your ass up to the mountain and go skiing. They're still out here in Nevada. So yes, there's a lot to do for a kid out here if you structurally understand and look for them activities. Because there's 2 to 3, 4 museums and animal museums out here.
True.
There's the biggest aquarium in the world that's out here, or in the United States of America. I'm sorry, the biggest aquarium in the United States of America out here.
Sure, there also is that scary museum too.
Yeah. I like how people say there's like nothing for kids to do, but then if you sit there and name, now the problem is there's nothing free for kids to do as much out here. But if you got some money, there's plenty. There's water parks out here. They might need to make a couple of more. Yes, true indeed. But there's lots of things to do. Better than taking them to a state. Sorry, Florida. I love you to death, but take them to a state where they're just, Walt Disney want to spin you and bend you, go up in you, take your virginity.
Ain't that the truth?
Clone you, put you on TV, make you the next Miley Cyrus and another Wild Out show. I'm just saying, these are things that we got to look at, y'all. That people might not understand and see. I sees it. Nah, but I just see. You see all them things I named them. Just the reason why I don't want to go to Florida and stay.
Okay, if you could go on a vacation and you're going somewhere you've never been, where would you go?
Amsterdam, Iceland.
Okay. Why Iceland?
Because drugs are legal. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. Leave me the fuck alone. I can smoke my weed everywhere peacefully, anywhere. Anywhere. I can walk up and down the streets, house, anywhere and smoke my weed.
All right, Mike, let's go to Iceland.
I don't want to go with nobody when I go to Iceland. I'm going by my damn self.
Fine then.
Because when I go to Iceland, I'm not coming back to America. So I don't want to hear nobody's excuse like, oh, man, he dropped me over here. Nah. I knew I was going to get stuck.
Man, as long as you send some good stuff back, we good.
I'm not sending shit back. When I go to Iceland, I'm be that same person like, fuck America. Yeah, I know people are going to my car like that. Hey, he talk all that love America. He go to Iceland, he gonna switch it up, y'all. I'm in a freer country. What's going on else out here? Let's see what my boy talking about. This Budweiser.
We're at Target right now, and there's a lot of controversy going on about all of the Pride stuff that's coming out with kids' clothes and things like that. So we're going to go to the kids section, and we're actually going to see if they're putting weird, creepy, uncomfy stuff on children's clothing. Okay, this is the child section. This is literally the kids section. I'm next to a literal onesie that says whatever the hell that means. We have Glad You Came Out and I'm So Happy That You're Queer in the kids section. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, but pride and toddler don't belong in the same sentence. So I found an extra small swimsuit in the child section. It says light binding effect on it. And then the bottoms in the kids section, keep in mind, say tuck friendly construction. They're giving it to your kids. If that doesn't give you a reason to boycott Target, I don't know what does. But this shit's getting out of hand. They're targeting children, whether you like it or not.
I shop at Target.
Uh-oh.
I shop at Target. I am a Target shopper. Like, that is my favorite place to go. I'm not a fucking woman. And it's not every woman's favorite place, because these hookers I talk to like to go to Walmart. They say I'm bougie. So women don't like shopping at Target. Shit, not these broke ass hookers out here.
Most expensive women.
Yeah, I think you need to do some more research before you make statements like that. Just my opinion. This is not fair. Shit. Y'all see my head down like this and of shame, because like I said, dog, I really do shop at Target.
And it's time that people actually do something about it. Because if they don't, then guess what? That shit won't just be in Target, it'll be in every store ever.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're living in a crazy timeline, guys. As once again, we got to talk about the most successful boycott in history. Talking about Bud Light here, but not specifically talking about Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch in regards to the company that is being affected. We're actually talking about Target, who is panicking in fears of what they see as could potentially be a Bud Light situation, a Bud Light-esque boycott in regards to impact on their bottom line, because allegedly they are holding an emergency meeting over LGBTQ merchandise that is being sold in stores. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the story, I'm pretty sure you are familiar with it. There is a call for a conservative boycott against Target, because Target is selling LGBTQ pride clothes, paraphernalia for children. Take a look.
POV, you take your kid to Target.
This is cool. Queen. Queens take care of each other. Mom says I'm supposed to be more organized. Can I work on this for my reading log? Perfect for our beach vacation. Dad, can we pull out your CD player? Fit for anyone and everyone? Let's get this for Mom. Live, laugh, Lebanese. Trains and people will always exist.
That's not what it says.
Why would Target hire a Satanist to design their new Pride collection that has now gone viral? This is the designer.
This is not a boy. This is a biological woman who has transitioned, who is a Satanist, who Target actually paid and sought out to design the collection. A part of the collection is this t-shirt that says Cure Transphobia, Not Trans People, this fanny pack that says We Belong Everywhere, and this bag along with a couple of other items. But what really disturbs me is the fact that Target hired someone who is a Satanist. This is spiritual warfare. This is good versus evil happening in our country. And this t-shirt right here says it all. Satan respects pronouns. Now, if you look at a lot of the other artwork on the page, it's very sparkly, pastel, cute, very much if a little kid saw this, they would want it. So if you think they're not targeting your kids, make sure that you check again because they definitely are. And honestly, this just makes me so upset. It makes me sick to my stomach knowing that there are Satanists infiltrating culture. And yet they have the audacity to say that Christians are shoving the Bible down everyone's throats.
Yeah, so that's one side of the story. Now, the other side of the story says that the backlash against Target is unwarranted because this stuff is only in the adult section only. This is what they claim.
Okay, so I'm back in the Target Pride section because I've seen this stupid stuff about the bathing suits again. This is again in the adult section, not the kids section. These swimsuits are adult size swimsuits. Same with these adult sizes. Now, what they have here, designed for comfort and confidence, it says it's tuck friendly and extra crotch comfort. And I'm here to show you what that means. The crotch isn't any thicker. It's just a bit wider. See, it's just a normal bathing suit. It's just a bit wider, more modest, if you would say. And I do have my underwear underneath there. There's nothing horrible. This is very well covered. Not necessarily a look that's flattering on me, but you know, there's nothing offensive about this other than the fact that obviously I'm cold. And for this bikini top, it says that it has a light binding effect, which basically means your boobs don't project as much. Again, more modest. So this is a size medium. This is an extra small bottom. So obviously this is not for a child. I am a 34 CD, and you can see this flattens it out. And look, you can't even tell I'm cold. If you want to compare the effect, here's a profile in this swimsuit, and you can compare it to my profile in this swimsuit.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Okay, I try to show both sides, right? So people can, not say I'm biased about this. But yeah, there's some people that are saying, look, Target is selling LGBTQ merchandise and paraphernalia.
Yo, I stay technically a block and a half from a Target.
Might need to move areas.
I am going to do a mission. I'm going to do a recording. And this is, I definitely going to have to do this because Target is literally right there. And go see if this is true because this is, like I said, y'all, I like shopping at Target, but we got to boycott it because they're doing this LBRS
and clothing to children. Okay, here it is. Here's the children's section. This is what they're selling to kids. Okay, they're pushing an agenda. And then you have some other people who seem to be pro LGBTQ saying, no, this stuff is not being pushed on children. It's only being sold in the adult section. Now, my guess is that what's being sold in what section probably varies based off your Target location. Okay, and some Target locations are panicking because of the backlash that they are receiving for Target selling this stuff and it going viral on the internet. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this because Target is trying to play both sides here, okay? And this is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. So without further ado, let's get into it. Some Southern Target stores were forced by the corporation to move LGBTQ pride merchandise away from the front of their locations after customer outrage to avoid, quote, a Bud Light situation. It's crazy how we've now coined the term Bud Light situation, right, to be synonymous with boycott, right, which tells you how successful the boycott has been. Many Target locations across the country feature massive June Pride Month displays on an annual basis with items this year ranging from, quote, tuck-friendly bathing suits for transgender people to mugs that say, quote, gender fluid. But the retail juggernaut has been criticized by some conservatives for the displays with children's items, particularly irking many customers. Yeah, again, a lot of people don't care too much about this when it's marketed towards adults, right? But the children is where a lot of people cross the line, okay? I don't know why corporate America and schools don't understand this. A Target insider told Fox News Digital that many locations, mostly in rural areas of the South, have relocated Pride sections to avoid the kind of backlash Bud Light has received in recent weeks after using a transgender influencer in a promotional campaign. A Target insider said there were emergency calls on Friday and that some managers and district senior directors were told to tamp down the Pride sections immediately. Quote, we were given 36 hours, told to take all of our Pride stuff, the entire section, and move it into a section that's a third the size. From the front of the store to the back of the store, you can't have anything on mannequins and no large signage, the Target insider said. So they basically moved it to where they sell the the stuff that nobody wants, right? Again, they don't want to have it out in front of people, okay, but they don't necessarily want to not try to sell it. They're just going to move it to the back where nobody goes or where less people go and hope to sell something. Amazing. Quote, we call our customers guests. There is outrage on their part this year. It is just exponentially more than any other year. The Target insider continued, quote, I think given the current situation with Bud Light, the company is terrified of a Bud Light situation, as they should be, right? As they should be. Like, that is the point of the Bud Light boycott, is to deter other companies from doing it. They make them think twice, right? So again, that's why it's important to not stop the Bud Light, right, controversy, and to continue to hold strong on the Bud Light situation, because again, it's going to show people that, hey, if you become unlucky enough to be subject to this type of boycott, right, because you want to be woke, then be prepared to deal with the consequences permanently. The insider, who has worked at the retailer for almost 2 decades, said Target rarely makes such hasty decisions. They said Friday's call began with roughly 10 minutes of, quote, how to deal with team member safety because the amount of backlash to Pride merchandise has generated, noting that Target Asset Protect and corporate security teams were present on the call. Quote, the call was super quick. It was 15 minutes. The first 10 minutes was about how to keep your team safe and not having to advocate for Target. The last 5 was, quote, move this to the back, take down the mannequins, and remove the signage, the insider said, noting that bathing suits have replaced Pride merchandise in front of store displays, despite Pride Month not even started until June 1st. Yeah, that's the crazy part. You're seeing so much of this even before Pride Month, like even before June 1st. These companies are going ham. It's everywhere. Okay, they started this early. Okay, imagine how ridiculous it's going to be in July, right? In July is going to be insane. Quote, it's all under the guise of trying to increase swim sales. The insider.
Pride Month is in July?
Yes.
And this is motherfucking
March. No, it's May. May, June, July.
Come on, man. They act like they trying to raise money to actually have the biggest parade, to go to state to state to state to state to state for real. Like they really want some state national fucking parade going on or something. We want to hold hands in every state, everywhere. No, we do not. Watch, they're gonna ask for some weird. We the LGBTQ want to come together with the world and just hold hands. Huh? Watch, cause y'all can't tell me that that's not a.
One day of world peace.
You can't tell me that's not a very smart ass marketing of trying to bring peace. And all the women like, look at the LGBTQ. They're trying to do a good thing. Like, come on, hold it. No, I gotta go.
Create a giant festival.
What they gonna? That sound like that's what they were gonna do. Like what I'm saying, y'all. If I'm losing people, if they would have got off the Budweiser, if they would get this Target off, if they would get off the what's the other commercials that I've been seeing, the Sports Illustrated, if everything would go their way, I guarantee they would have a day to where we would have to stop what we was doing
And watch.
and hold hands. We were all okay. I think I'm playing. Some people are probably laughing, cracking out like that boy funny. I'm serious. That's why I guess these boycotts is serious, and they need to be done, because if they don't, y'all, we really, really gonna be in a mess.
I said everyone was like, quote, thank God, because we're all on the front lines dealing with it. Target did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Fox News Digital has confirmed rural Target stores in South Carolina, Arkansas, and Georgia are among the locations to move the Pride sections. Most rank and file employees were left in the dark, with many not knowing the Pride sections would be moved until they noticed it themselves. Pride merchandise remains prominently displayed at other locations and on the Target website. Target Pride merchandise includes female-style swimsuits that can be used to tuck male genitalia. Some products are also labeled as, quote, thoughtfully fit or multiple body types and gender expressions. Pride merchandise also includes onesies and rompers for newborn babies, a variety of adult clothing with slogans such as super queer, party supplies, home decor, multiple books, and a, quote, grow at your own pace saucer planter. Yeah. So again, this is not good for Target, right? However, Target CEO is actually coming out and defending some of their kid-friendly clothing amid boycott calls. Surprisingly, again, so it seems like they're trying to play both sides here. They're saying in the South, we're going to move the stuff back to the back, but we're going to come out here at a national level and stand with the woke radical agenda. So let's read here. Target's top executive dismissed the social media uproar over the retailer's new line of LGBTQ plus friendly kids clothing, saying that marketing the products are good for business and the right thing for society. Here we go. Stakeholder capitalism. Once again, right? Or as you guys like to say, right? They're trying to increase their ESG score, right? Because, you know, allegedly that is what a lot of this is about. Okay. It's about increasing their ESG scores. Outraged shoppers posted videos and images on social media showing bathing suits that offer, quote, extra crotch coverage as well as rainbow colored onesies for infants and children. Other offerings that raised conservative hackles included t-shirts that say proud adult drag queen Katya, trans people will always exist, and girls, gays, theys. On Fortune's Leadership Next podcast last week, Target CEO Brian Cornell was asked about the backlash to woke capitalism, which has engulfed iconic beer brand Bud Light as well as entertainment giant Disney. Quote, I think those are just good business decisions, and it's the right thing for society, and it's the great thing for our brand. The executive whose company employs more than 450,000 workers in more than 1,900 locations nationwide said that the company's strategy is aimed to cater to a diversifying customer base. Quote, the things we've done from DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion standpoint, it's adding value. It's helping us drive sales. It's building greater engagement with both our teams and our guests, and those are just the right things for our business today. A spokesperson for the company told the Associated Press that the tuck-friendly swimsuits are only offered in adult sizes and that kids' collection does not feature the label. Quote, when we think about purpose at Target, it's really about helping families, all the families, and that all word is really important. Okay, so they're basically giving the woke, again, stakeholder capitalist explanation for this, saying that, well, this is helping us increase sales, right? It's helping us increase sales because, you know, Gen Z, they are overwhelmingly either LGBTQ themselves, okay, 1 out of 5, or they support LGBTQ. And I guess the way they're looking at it from a woke capitalism standpoint is that, well, these are the consumers of tomorrow, some of them today, and they're overwhelmingly LGBTQ friendly, which means that the next generation after Gen Z probably is going to be LGBTQ friendly as well. And they could be thinking that parents are buying these clothes for their LGBTQ children. Again, I think that's kind of what the thought process here is. And they think that conservatives and people with common sense,
they want a merry-go-round circle around the United States of America where we all can hold hands and play with puppets and sing on me, kumbaya. You damn gone right. Sing it loud and proud. Want you to sing it through a bullhorn. Come on.
You know, we're going to be singing Hakuna Matata.
See, no, they better leave it. They better leave that alone. Hell, no. Some things they just need to
sense in this country is supposed to just go along and support this agenda that clearly is rapidly increasing the amount of young people in this country that are LGBTQ at an unnatural rate. Most of America shops at Target, so we want to do the right thing to support families across the country. You know, what happened to supporting all families with just regular clothes, right? I'm not sure you're supporting all families with trans options, right? Target's line of trans options promoted on his website ahead of next month's Pride Month sparked even more fury because it targets kids. Cornell added, quote, "I know that focus on diversity and inclusion and equity has fueled much of our growth over the last 9 years." Yeah, so, you know, while Target is sticking with this, right? Apparently, at least in some locations, maybe not so much in the South, Bud Light is trying to do damage control, okay? They have actually started buying back beers that have not been sold, okay, because they're out of date, right? People can't really drink them. They're not good products anymore. So they're buying them back. They're doing all types of advertising and stuff like that. But it does not seem to be working as the sales have fallen in the 20, 25, 30% range for like a 6 straight week. And it doesn't look like that boycott is letting up. Now, well,
Man, that's crazy. I don't know what to say on that, dog. But we is seeing it coming. We're seeing it come now. It is a time for us to stand up, you know, fight for it, show the video out, let people know that this is coming. Fuck. I can't shop at Target no more. I'm pissed. Like, no, like
Pride Month is next month.
in June. How about I buy no clothes from Target and I just go get me
No, because you're still going to Target.
fuck.
Got a little Walmart mic.
I don't like Walmart. Anybody, my little people that know me know I do not like Walmart. I'm not feeling that. It's not the place to be. Shit. I would just say this, y'all. That's crazy. That's nasty. That's disgusting. It's been another Burn Live show, man. I'm holding it down for y'all, keeping it real. Nah, I don't even know what to say. That's nasty. I can't shop at Target. That's all I just keep going through my mind. Can't shop at Target. Gotta find a new home. I'm not finna hold y'all. Hope y'all have a good night. Hope y'all have a blessed morning. Y'all know where to come and see me. Holla at your boy. Capiche. Peace.